Why is it not turning on? Just kidding. Check it out. Hang on, let me get a good angle. Okay, go. Oh, I can't control bulb. I can control it with your TV remote. Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how I made this version of my robot. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna start with the motor controls because I'm using two simple DC motors that you can get from like Amazon anywhere over here. These yellow ones, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen them. And I'm using this L298 and H-bridge motor controller. And yeah, I guess I just connected the motors. I kind of, oops, no way. I soldered these wires and then just screwed them into the two separate outputs. And as for the power supply, I'm using 6 AA batteries to provide like ample currents, because simply from the Arduino alone, 5 volts will not, and like the current from the Arduino will not provide enough power for the motors to actually drive properly, especially with the weight of the power bank and whatnot. So, and for the control logic, I guess I'm using this, the classic microcontroller or the Arduino. I connected all the motor outputs to the H-bridge so I can control the speed and like the direction of the motors and whatnot. Now, as for the communication, I use this IR sensor over here so it can communicate with the TV remote. Essentially, it can communicate with any TV remote. I just picked this one. I had an old IR, but it was for some reason it just didn't work anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Where did it go? Yeah, it's over here. This old IR, I was trying to debug it for many hours, but I wasted a lot of time because I realized it was just broken. So what I did is I took apart this old TV box set, whatever you call it, and it was in this PCB where I extracted the IR sensor, which was sitting in this X over here. And I also took out some 8-segment digit displays over here for fun, in the future if I need it. But yeah, I just desoldered it and then stuck it with tape here. And of course, it's being controlled by the Arduino, which is receiving signals from here. Now, as for the code, it's just standard Arduino code. I included the IR library because you have to install it externally. I set up my pins, so input, output, whatnot. And here so this is where I actually, get the data from the IR. And I use some help from online forums and stuff to, understand how IR code works. And I just decode the IR results. And whatever it is based on the hexadecimal values, I either turn both motors on, one on so it goes right. And if you press any other button, for example, I don't know, like OK or like literally any other button that's not the up, down, left or right, it will just reset the motors to 0. And yeah, and I created like a function, I guess, just because I didn't want to just copy and paste the digital right high, right low for every single else if statement, because that would just take a lot of lines. So I just, for simplicity's sake, I just made my own function and put in parameters such as 1 and 0. And for the actual body of the car, I just took a wood plank that I had and I just cut it over here because for a good shape of the car. And I only have 2 DC motors, so I just have a ball and caster wheel in the front here, which I, assembled with Lego, and I just screwed them in so it would stay in place and serve as a third wheel. Okay, so now I just connected the Arduino to the power supply that I have. I mean, this is a pretty bad power supply considering it's its size, so I'll probably find a slimmer and smaller one in general, but let's just test it out for now. So I'm using my, whatever remote I have to, I'm just pointing at the sensor over here. And yeah, if you just, the thing is, if you press whatever command, it will do that for, indefinitely until you press any other button to tell it to stop. So, I can start to stop now. Oops. One issue that this car or robot has is that the caster wheel is not very accurate, and if I point it and if I tell it to drive forwards, it would drive forwards, but it would eventually steer off to the right a bit or the left depending on the ball itself and the surface. But hopefully we could fix that in the future versions of this robot. As for what I'm gonna do with this, I mean, so far it's not really that functional. Like, it can't do anything except for just drive around and be like a cool toy, I guess. But hopefully what I want to do in the future is hopefully add some functionality to it. Maybe possibly like a sort of arm that you can also control with the remote. For example, if you press like the channel up, the channel down, it removes the arm up and down and whatnot. So you can actually pick up stuff and, you know, be somewhat useful. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully I'll be back with more updates on this robot and other future projects, and hopefully even cubing. And I'll see you guys in the next video.